There is something that I used to tell a lot of the students at SMU. Some people who would come with ideas and say that I don't want to do this because if I don't get a job now, I always used to ask them to look at their life. And if you start earning at the age of 25 and you go on to earn until you're 65, let us say, if you're working somewhere, and so you have a good 40 years of lifespan. I ask them, spending 2 years or 3 years, what does it take from that 40-year cycle? As a percentage, it's less than 5% of the time that you spend to build a career for yourself. If you look at it from that perspective, what is the amount of time that I'm giving up to create something of value? Invariably, you will find that the 2 to 3 years that you want to invest to experiment and figure out whether what you're doing is actually going to create value or not is a small portion of your entire life. And you can actually afford to give up that time to pursue this if you're really interested in it. You learn a lot in those 3 years. And that learning stays with you for the rest of your life. The way I see it is that it's an experiment. You don't look at it as something that somebody has to judge you by, that you have to judge yourself by. It's a learning process. It's about learning what works and what doesn't work. And it's an experiment. If you go in with that mindset, then automatically you open up your ability to make something out of that 2 to 3 years that you devote to this experience is much higher.
Yeah, I talk about this in my book, The Big Jump into Entrepreneurship 2.0. There is definitely a shift in how people view entrepreneurship. In the past, it would have been unheard of to take that 2 years off or 3 years off, even in a 40-year career, because Singaporeans are famously well known for being kiasu. And so losing that opportunity would have been a big blow. But more importantly, I've also found that most of them actually have a huge fear of failure. It had to do a lot with the society's stigma around failure. But I think increasingly in the last at least 10 years, we've seen people be more willing or open to actually try out different things.